some point because I'm like, I can't remember what I like. What did I come up to say? And basically, I just really wanted to say hello and wish us all, including myself, peace and unity and abundance, and that no matter what water has gone under our proverbial bridges, there's always work to be done, and the work doesn't always have to be grueling, but sometimes it is, whether it's housework or, working on, I call it the side B of my record album of my life. There's just a lot of wonderful things going on if I choose to do the things that are, this is where it gets sticky, because I say, well, this is where God told me to do something, and that's not exactly what's happening, but somehow I do have a connection to something that I can't explain, because it does run through the course of my life, like the thread through a beautiful pearl necklace that just continues to grow, right? And I don't know what this experience is. I recently talked with somebody I care about deeply, and they had an experience on some mushrooms, and I'm like, this wonderful dude said finally, after some years of being on planet Earth, that there's something a little wacky going on, and he talked about being able to see his looks through a table, and all wild stuff in conversations, and maybe a lot of that can be scientifically debunked. I don't know. I just know that we're all in this together, and that's true. We are all in this together. We do influence and affect each other. I'm influenced and affected by people that I know, and I learned a lot of this being on Clubhouse, because I was kind of, just on the, maybe had some ignorance going on, just skipping through my life. So I don't know what else to say, except that whatever this entity is, I did try to become an atheist, and it didn't work for me. And I don't know if it's because, I was very, very young, pre-verbal, when people would sit with me at night and say, now I lay me down to sleep, and all that good stuff. And so, yeah, I believe in something way powerful than me, and I wish everybody here unity, abundance, and peace, and fun. And that's all I really wanted to share, and to say I love you guys.
Thank you so much, Z. I appreciate that. It's both reflective intellectually and heartfelt. Those are things we love on this show, and somebody speaks from the head and the heart. Wonderful. Let's go over to someone new, Dr. Mitch. Dr. Mitch, haven't seen you on the stage today, and you have a really cool PTR. I don't know if that's a super being or what it is, but it's interesting and neat. Would you like a fresh five, Dr. Mitch, to share what's on your mind today?
Hey, Reverend Scott. I just wanted to, actually, I think Z said everything I would have tried to articulate. So just want to be supportive. I just like to come up supportive. I don't know that I have any wisdom or pearls. Just try to be present, be nice to people, and do the best you can. That's about it. So lots of love to everyone. Thank you, Reverend Scott.
Thanks, Dr. Mitch. Appreciate you just coming up to share the love. We love that, and we're glad to have you here, even if you just feel like hanging out and listening, which many people do. It's, again, as Uncle Steve said, functions kind of like FM radio for a lot of people, and we're thrilled to provide that service. Let's go to Alma. Alma, would you like a fresh five to share what's on your mind? Alma going once, Alma going twice. Then we're going to go to my dear friend from the north, Andrew Tutty, my dear friend. It's great to see you, my friend. Would you like another fresh five to share what's on your mind in the last hour of the show?
Well, Scott, thank you. I will, because you played something talking about the fourth quarter, I will mention two fourth quarters. in the Canadian Football League yesterday. Very, very exciting. Calgary and Montreal went right down to the wire. Calgary was behind 22-3 at the half, ended up tying the game 32 all, and were going down to score the winning touchdown with 20 seconds left, and didn't the guy fumble, and Montreal recovered and won the game. Very exciting. The next game was Hamilton and Edmonton. Hamilton had their backup quarterback, Trey Ford, who actually is a former University of Waterloo Warrior, wearing black and gold in both scenarios. That game came down to the fourth quarter, where Toronto, sorry, I'm lying. It's Toronto and Hamilton, not Edmonton. So Toronto scored what would be the tying touchdown if they got the single point, and they missed. So Hamilton was still ahead by 1 point. Toronto got the ball back and marched the ball down to the 30 with dying seconds, went to kick the field goal, and didn't they miss? And that ended the game. Hamilton won by 1 point. Very exciting stuff. Scott, you should tune in. I have a fellow American, Alan. You know Alan, had that room, you were modding there for a while with me. He has embraced the Canadian Football League entirely. I get little messages from him all the time during the games. So I encourage you, once again, to look north, young man, and watch the very entertaining sports. And of course, we have the World Cup final today, and I think it rained enough maybe to clear the air that people aren't running around in toxic fumes. So anyway, thanks, Scott.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to hear. You know, Andrew, you really, you might get me into Canadian football. Keep working on me. I'm like one of the, you be like an evangelical, trying to keep leading someone to Jesus. I love it, man. Always a pleasure.
You got to remember, Scott, that many of the players are from the United States. We just don't have that kind of population. And so, you know, you'll probably, like, Doug Flutie played up here for years.
I know that. Yeah, I did know that. Yeah.
So, anyway.
And Doug Flutie, I think, played for Trump's team, right? The Generals, I think. We won't hold that against him.
Yeah, thanks. And of course the old Warren Moon too, if you remember Warren Moon.
Oh yeah, of course. Great for the former Oilers quarterback. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Thanks, Andrew. And maybe I'll see you in one of my pop-up rooms. Always a pleasure. Let's go. Oh my gosh, I think I might regret this, but let's go to Communist. Communist, great to see you.
No regret, Scotty. No regret.
No regret. Sorry. Communist, would you like a fresh five here in this last hour of the show to complain about me or the show or anything else you want to talk?
Yeah, so I see that Steve was being dishonest with everybody. So, you know, I looked at your PTR and so I did a quick Google search and I found you on IMDb. Like, you never told anybody that you were a millionaire, a celebrity millionaire on a drive-by podcast. You're on IMDb.
Wait a minute. If Reverend Scott is a millionaire, I want some of that money right now.
I would give it to you, Uncle Steve.
Right, Scott? Will you be my sugar daddy?
Oh my God, you know I would be your sugar uncle, your sugar nephew. We could have all kind of role plays. Communist, anything else?
Yeah. Like, why did you? Well, actually, that also falls on why you didn't tell anybody that, you know, you were a celebrity and you're on IMDb with a podcast like 6 years ago, I think.
Communist, I don't think you're looking at the right person on Google.
I
Scott
don't
Jones
either.
isn't exactly an unusual name. It's not like it's Dmitry Petreskov. I think you're looking at the wrong Scott Jones.
No.
Now, Reverend Scott does. Hello. Reverend Scott does have a YouTube podcast. Reverend Scott, do you want to give a plug right now or no?
And you can find Give and Take, the podcast, on YouTube, or you can find me on Facebook. You can find me. I recommend listening. I actually just like to listen to the show, but I don't actually listen to my own show. But you can find Give and Take or New Persuasive Words anywhere you get your podcast. So tune in to me, and if you like that Hegel quote, that quote about Hegel, I read the most recent podcast was with that guy, Todd McGowan. Probably again one of the best intellectual interlocutors I've engaged with in a while. So yeah, all right. Communist, anything
Scott
else?
Jones, you didn't tell me that you were the dude from Counting Cars.
Oh yeah,
Damn,
of course.
dude.
I'm many things. I'm many things.
I remember Counting Cars. That was Born Out of Pawn Stars.
Exactly. So if you just Google Scott Jones, the first thing that pops up is going to be Scott Jones, formerly known as the man from Counting Cars, a TV personality.
Sure, I'm so many things. So many things. Okay, Communist, anything else, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, you're a millionaire, and Steve's been hiding this from everybody.
Do you believe that's the case, communist?
Nobody ever asked me if Reverend Scott was a millionaire. Why am I hiding it?
No, you never told anybody because you said that you know everybody on your
JCC, I knew I would regret this. I knew it. I knew it.
This is great. This is great content. No regrets.
That's true. That's true. It's true. It is great. It's great for the show. Great for the show.
Yeah, look, communist, I do know everybody on my mod squad. I do have everybody's cell phone number on my mod squad. And I know personal things about their family lives. It doesn't mean I'm going to go and tell them. Someone has to ask. Believe me, I know a lot of personal things about the mod squad in their personal lives, but I haven't misrepresented anything. Nobody's asked. And if they were to ask me, I'd probably say, it's none of your fucking business.
How dare you? How dare you?
How dare you, communists? That, of course, is Greta Thunberg. I love that. I love that. Sure.
That's important for people to know that you're a celebrity because you got people that's trying to get in the Hollywood business and.
Well, why don't you just ask him?
Yeah, you
No,
keep
I'm just
presuming.
gonna
Wait, communist.
Why don't you just ask?
A quick correction. Communist.
Anybody that comes in the room, you're welcome to talk about it.
Please listen, communist. You're making the presumption that you have the correct search of Scott Jones. So, like Steve said, ask Scott.
Kent Jones is the way to go. SCOTTKENTJONES, because I'm probably one of the only one of them in the world, and the only one with a significant social footprint. Not that mine's that huge, but if you wanna find me, Scott Kent Jones is always the way to go, and that's all my socials.
But this is how it works. It's real simple. Communists, unmute and say, Reverend Scott, I have a question. Are you a millionaire? Very simple.
Now is your time to talk, communist.
Yep. Okay, so I put the photo on my PTR. This is Scott Jones because I look at his PTR and I put it in my PTR.
Ask the question that Steve asked you to ask.
That is, I remember when that photo was taken. That's a little old, but I still look great.
Yeah, see, I told you that's him. That guy's a freaking millionaire. I don't need that.
You're mistaken.
How am I mistaken? He's on IMDb.
Where does this say he's a millionaire? And once again, you failed to ask Scott directly if he is a millionaire.
IMDb.
You're not.
That means.
Hey, yo, bro. I muted you, right? So please, once again,
How
go
dare
right to the
you?
source. How dare you? Ask Scott directly, communist, your question. Ready?
I don't need to ask the question. I see it for myself. You're asking me to ask something that I already know about.
Ask no questions. I tell you no lies. You are wrong, communist. You believe the hype. You got it mistaken.
I'm gonna move on, communist. Thank you. That was great to hear from you,
bro.
I'm gonna go to my dear friend. I'm gonna go to my dear friend Randy. Randy, it's a thrill to have you on the stage. Would you like a fresh five to tell us what's on your mind, sir?
Randy, good to see you, even though I'm on my break. Good to see you, bud.
Good to see you, my brother, from another mother. Okay, where do I begin? First of all, Scott, thanks for lending me that 20K. I should have it back to you soon.
Always.
Yeah, you know.
And by the way, Randy, before you ask...
Randy, before you ask, my name is Steve Appel, and I take it up the ass.
What?
Oh, well, that one I want to talk to, definitely.
Uncle Steve is a power top. We all know that.
Yeah, that's right. But Randy, before you ask, yes, I am
the great Joe Jackson in concert. Yes, he had most of his hits in the 70s and the 80s. Is She Really Going Out With Him? Different for Girls, Stepping Out. And this guy's about 72 years old. His voice, I hope everyone knows who I'm talking about when I say I saw Joe Jackson, because it's a common name. But Joe Jackson is a British hit maker who came up around the same time as Elvis Costello. He was a little overshadowed by Elvis, but he had a lot of big hits on his own. In fact, in his day, he had more hit songs than Elvis Costello. He had more songs on the radio than Elvis. And then he just kind of receded for a while, but he's been making records ever since, and great records. And I saw him at the Beacon Theater last night. Fantastic show. His voice is as good as it ever was. His piano playing is as great as, I forgot how great he was on. It was a 5-piece band. Him, his longtime bassist, Graham Mabey, a guitarist from Long Island, I forgot his name, a drummer, and a percussionist. It was a 5-piece band. They killed it. It was a great show, about an hour and a half long. They did one cover. They covered a song called Spiders from, Scary Monsters. They covered a David Bowie song called Scary Monsters. And it was a great show. And I just want to say thanks. We bought the tickets the day of the show on StubHub. They were pretty cheap. And it was a great time. So that's one thing that went on. As I've talked about already, Friday night I saw the movie The Invite. That's, in my opinion, the best movie I've seen this year, with Seth Rogen, Olivia Wilde, Ed Norton, and Penelope Cruz. If I'm speaking too fast, I'm sorry. And that's what's happening this coming week. I'm going to dinner with friends for somebody's birthday Tuesday night. My point is, kids, it's summer. Get out of your house. Enjoy life. Some things cost money. Some things don't cost money. Friday night after the movie, which was cheap. After the movie, I met up with a friend at something called Silent Disco. That was free at Lincoln Center. We never even put on our headphones. We just talked an hour and a half. So you don't have to spend money to have fun. Get out, be outside, meet people, because in the winter you can't do that easily. So I just want to say God bless everybody. God bless America. God bless the people in this room. God bless Israel. What the hell, I'll say it. And I'm grateful. And so the mood of the day is grateful. I'm doing something today, and I don't mind because I work for myself. Sometimes you have to do work on a Sunday or a Saturday, but that's the price you pay to work for yourself. And I'm grateful, and I just want to say thanks. I'll be here all day. And if anyone has any questions, come correct. Take care.
Thank you
Randy,
so much.
yeah, thank you. Appreciate that,
Thanks,
Reverend
babe.
Scott and Violet the Mod Squad. Thank you.
Thank you.
The jalopy, back to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is your millionaire Uncle Steve. And yes, it is true. I am a millionaire. Absolutely true. I'm not aware of anybody else on the Mod Squad is a millionaire. I am. Then again, if you too were to own Casa de Appel for almost 25 years and, handled your money and your investments right, you too would be a millionaire. It's not that difficult. And I normally don't talk about it, and I'm normally not asked about it. Now, what is success? Prior to COVID, they said that up to $75,000, money was a direct correlation to happiness. This is no bullshit. Prior to COVID, your happiness was affected by how much money you made between $0 and $75,000 a year. Above 75,000, then arguably there was no effect. Now, since COVID, inflation, the whole ball of wax, I'm going to increase that level to 150,000. So I'm going to say, and again, this is just me, that the difference in salary or money that you make a year between $0 and $150,000 a year has a direct correlation on happiness. But once you go over 150 grand, let's say you make 200, let's say you make 250, let's say you make half a million, a million, 5 million, 100 million, there's no direct correlation between the amount of money you make and happiness, or what you consider success. Now, people define success differently. I haven't spoken about it recently, but I've been very consistent about my definition of success. My definition of success is that I can go to Reverend Scott and I could say, you know, Reverend Scott, you know, here's $100. Do whatever you want with it. Have a good time. I can go to Violet and I can say, Violet, here are 2 round-trip tickets for you and your husband to come out to Casa de Papel on a weekend and have a great time. The treat's on me. It's my pleasure. I can send JCC, $500 and say, you know what, thanks for all your support. I realize we've butted heads, but in the long run, you being in my life is better than you not being in my life. That to me is success. It's not how much money you have, but it's what you do with the money and the time that you do have. We've been running the show. We're going into our 6th year now. And I wouldn't say there's been a swinging door or a revolving door in the Mod Squad. People have come, people have gone, people have come back. But in the long run, what I pride myself on is not the fact that I'm a millionaire. It's not the fact how much money I make. It's the fact that I'm consistent. It's the fact that I'm honest, at least to my true beliefs. And the fact that my word is my bond and my bond is my word. You can count on me. We know for a fact that with maybe one exception in 5 or 6 years, the show is here every Saturday and every Sunday from 7 a.m. To 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for a 3-hour tour. It actually used to be 4 hours, and then we cut it back to 3. Leave them wanting more. Yeah, and we've always had basically the same format. It's done for a specific reason. We've always been consistent that you come up and you decide the direction the show is going. We never run clickbait titles, although when we do pop-up rooms and shit like that, of course we do. But on Saturday, it's Ask Uncle Steve. On Sunday, it's Ask the Atheist. The format of the show is exactly the same. You come on up, you talk about whatever we want, whatever you want, and then we go down that path. And if the stage is filled up, you get 5 minutes. If there's nobody on stage and we like what we're talking about, we'll go 10, 15, or 20 minutes, as evidenced today. And we had the gentleman who said he was going to eviscerate me yesterday. He was on stage for between 15 and 20 minutes. And then when I said we had to go, he goes, okay, so you're running. Great. I don't run from anybody, at least not on this app. I am open and honest, and I'm accountable for everything that happens. We don't have any new people on stage, so let's go to the Mod Squad. Alfonso, would you like a fresh 5? You probably with, yeah, hey, would you like a fresh 5?
Not at the moment.
And in fact, speaking of success, thank you for reminding me, on my bucket list is to go to Costa Rica. And I'll probably go next year. And I have told Alfonso that when I go, I'm going to offer him a round-trip ticket and put him up. Because Alfonso is the founder of the Atheism House. Look, when I first came into this house and I saw what was going on and asked Alfonso for permission to do my own shows, And he said yes. And then when we started doing the shows, he gave me some critiques. Steve, I like this. Steve, I don't like that. We came to a meeting of the minds. I could have started my own house. Well, I did, Casa de Appel. But I could have started my own house and named it something else. But it's like, did any of you ever see, it's on Netflix right now, The Founder with Michael Keaton? It's the story of Roy Kroc, who basically is thought to be the inventor of McDonald's, but in actuality, he's not the inventor of McDonald's, but he definitely is responsible for making McDonald's the worldwide success that it is. He could have taken their idea, the McDonald's idea, and started his own thing. But what they did with the golden arches and the name, he said, you know what, you can't compare to that. And instead he went with it. And basically, I don't want to say he stole it from him, but he made it what it is today. It's the same thing, in my humble opinion, with the Atheism House. I'm not saying the Atheism House is the way it is today because of me, but Alfonso started it. And rather than me just going and doing my own thing, I wanted to partner with him. And I think it's been a very successful partnership. Let's talk about Reverend Scott.
Steve.
Yes, go ahead. Please comment. Oh, comment. Take a few minutes. Go ahead.
So there's a meeting of free thinkers in Costa Rica that I mentioned from the on the 20, 21, and 22nd of November that I wanted to attend, but representing Atheist Alliance International, but budget is short. So if you're interested, we could both go on those dates.
Talk about it off the air. I definitely want to go to Costa Rica because I've never been. I'm not sure if I want to go during that time, but let's talk about it off the air. Fair enough?
Yeah.
You got it. Maybe, well, in fact, let's just talk right after the show. Sounds good. We'll talk about me and JCC. Me and JCC have butted heads throughout the past couple of years. Me and JCC have arguably, we've had arguments and disagreements, but in the long run, I know that I believe that without question, the show is better with JCC than without JCC. Now, I don't know what JCC thinks about me, but he still comes back. JCC, any thoughts? Want to talk about what a dickhead I am or what?
Steve, I appreciate all the accolades and kind words you have uttered, and I do hold it with utmost respect for you, and I too respect you as well, and I do appreciate being here. And we were discussing my participation in your room/shows, and I tagged myself, not only the grill master.
Yes.
I like to say I'm the Steve Tamer.
I love that.
On occasion, I'll say, hey, Steve, dude, dial it back. So, yeah.
And how do I respond?
You go, thank you, and you do. And
absolutely.
Not only myself, but other mod squatters do it as well, and you do it here, and you recognize, like, yeah, you're getting a little amped up, and you getting excited. So, yeah, it's awesome. And, yeah, we have butted heads, and I am happy that we can be adults about it and resolve our issues. Yep.
Exactly, and it was also JCC who put his money where his mouth is, because when we were butting heads a little while ago, he said, hey, act like a man, call me up privately, and, well, in a manner of speaking, say it to my face, and I did. And I think that gained a little bit more respect. But if we ever have a problem, like I said, the entire Mod Squad has my cell phone. Then we come to Violet. I love Violet being on the show. Cora used to be here. Cora drops in, but Violet has been more consistent lately. Cora used to be more consistent. There are other reasons, and I love Cora. But Violet's contributions to the show are immeasurable, and amongst others, without question, black and white, no gray, The following is Violet's greatest contribution to the show.
Wanna share your point of view, vent a little about what's bothering you. Got a question that's on your mind. Be bold, brave, courageous. Come on up and get you fresh fire. What does that mean? Well, listen up. Have a take and just don't suck. Be respectful, make your point in a reasonable way. Come on up. Ask Uncle Steve today.
Now, Violet, I suspect that when you put that piece together and made that, you never in your wildest dreams thought I would play it as often and regularly, religiously as I do. Am I correct or am I mistaken?
You are correct, Steve. Like I told you the morning I sent it to you, I woke up unusually early before the show and started having these little thoughts about a theme song for you. So I just went ahead and worked with it for a bit. And then when I sent it to you, I thought this might make you smile. I just wanted to share it with you. And so when you played it that day, I just was blown away. I was like, oh my God, I did it. I was really excited and so glad that you liked it that much.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, prior to that, we were doing, different, we were doing different things. And when I heard that, I go, that's it. That's it. And we've been playing that theme song since then. So, in addition to the song, thank you for coming on here religiously, pardon the pun. Thank you for your contributions. There's no question that the show is better with you than without you. And then, of course, there's
Well,
Derek.
wait a second,
Yes.
Steve. I wanted to say,
Please.
I want to thank you. I found you and your show when I first started on this app, and I was very, very unsure as to whether I would fit in anywhere. If I had anything of interest to say to anybody with my life being somewhat average, which, I know there's nothing wrong with that, but I also felt very insecure. So when you asked me to join your mod squad, that helped my confidence in myself and helped me realize that I might have more to contribute than I was giving myself credit for, and that was because of you and your show and your mod squad, and I will appreciate that for no matter how long Clubhouse lasts or how long. I mean, I'm going to remember that forever. So
It's my pleasure, and hopefully it gave you enough confidence when you started your own house show. Bring a banger or something like that.
Well, yes, it was. I mean, Bert and I did that together. It was a collaboration with him, but learning from you gave me the skills I needed to be good in that room too. So it's great, Steve. I love being here, and you're my favorite place. This is my favorite place to be on Saturdays and Sundays, and I love you, and I love the Mod Squad, and I love your show.
Love you too. Then there's Daryl, one of the more recent members of the Mod Squad earlier in the year. And in fact, I don't know if Daryl's spoken today, but he's our financial guru, our financial expert. By the way, Daryl, are you there? Unmute if you are.
I am here.
And I know that I went against your advice, buddy. I was asking, I went against his advice.
StockX, right?
It's SpaceX, that's correct.
SpaceX, sorry.
For those of you that don't know, Elon Musk's SpaceX opened for commercial institutions at 135. A couple of hours later, it quickly went from 150 to 165. Nobody like me could buy it at less than 165. It went up to 205. Then it started going down. Daryl said, wait till it gets to about 125 or something like that, where it closed on Friday. I bought it 2 days earlier at the 135, 136 level. So I listened to your advice, but I kind of
You just
I
said,
bought it
you
at the
just said
135.
screw that guy, right?
And, one rule we've always had on the Mod Squad, come and go as you please, no harm. I'm prepared to, if people want to hear me read fucking news for 3 hours, I will. but I'm always prepared because we have a 5-second rule that we don't talk about. But Daryl's presence has always been welcome. And Daryl, we appreciate you being on the Mod Squad.
Thank you, sir. So SpaceX is a hold, right? So yeah, you got it in 130.
135.
135. 135. I actually think it might dip as low as 121.
Yeah.
But I do think if you hold it, I don't know if you're like a day trader or anything like that. I think if you hold on,
I am not. No.
Just hold on to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going anywhere. They broke the rules so that it could get into the S&P 100, which means it's going to sit on books. I really do feel for the people who got in at the highest high, and some of those, people, quote unquote, were managed 401k accounts and pension funds, and some people are not looking at their quarterly statements smiling anymore. But if you sit and hold it, it should rebound to 150 February. February maybe. News brings stock rises, right? So right now there's really nothing to talk about. So the hype is over. Now you actually have to see how the company performs, and that's just fundamental analysis. You just have to see what they do.
Yeah, I'm not a day trader. In fact, it was my brother-in-law who knows almost as much as you, and he says, look, when you're looking at stocks, don't treat it like going up and going down. Treat it as your car, or treat it as your home. Yeah. You're not looking at the value of your car or your value of your home every day. You buy it, and you might check the value, a couple of times a year, but use it and have fun with it. And I'm no day trader. In fact, I'm extremely conservative. Thank you very much. And did you want something else? Go ahead.
Yeah, just some stuff on the economy, not so great.
Yeah.
So foreclosures are 30% higher than they were 2 years ago. Student loan debt has doubled. Student loan delinquency, have doubled. Medical delinquencies have doubled. Credit card delinquencies have doubled. And credit cards, there was a report that somewhere like 87, 88% of people who actually own credit cards are within 10% of their credit limit. And so some of this doesn't bode well, and they're trying to model out what this means. But those are just some notes on the economy.
Thank you. And Tanya, I see you. We'll get to you in a couple of minutes. And last but not least, of course, is Reverend Scott. Reverend, are you there? And Reverend, are you there? Well, there we go. Okay, so, what can I say about Reverend Scott?
What can't you say? That's the question.
I'll tell you this, Reverend Scott co-hosts the show here on Saturday and Sunday, and then he co-hosts Gary's show, The Critical Thinking, Monday through Friday. Gary doesn't come here pretty much. I don't go there pretty much. And what Reverend Scott did is what I advise all people that are getting into broadcasting, podcasting, having your voice heard. You take the best of what you learn from other people and incorporate it into your own style. And that's what Reverend Scott has done. He has taken the best from me, he has taken the best from Gary, and then he does his own podcast, and he does it his way. But he learned from us and then molded it into his own style. And that is the same advice that I give everybody else. And once again, just like all the other Mod Squad, Reverend, the show is better with you than without you. Any thoughts before we go to Tanya?
Well, thank you, Steve. That's great. I appreciate it. I love the show. What you and Gary have shown me that I still don't emulate is consistency. I mean, you guys are available at the same time, same place every week. I'm more of a sort of spontaneous pop-up guy, but I do, I've been podcasting for years. I got into Clubhouse originally with another friend. We thought we might use it as a podcasting platform, and I did not like it for that function. But I did not expect to like Clubhouse as much as I did. It's become something that is a regular part of who I am, and I love it. And I love being here on the weekend, Steve. It's super fun, and I think we've got a great thing. I'll probably pop a room open today too, just to for shits and giggles, as they say. So look for me, everybody, and it's great.
And I will probably be there. And if you're in the audience, maybe we can accommodate one more person because we're ending in 10 minutes. But Tanya is here. Tanya, good morning. What a pleasure to see you 2 days in a row. Hi, what would you like to talk about?
I know. So I know that the show today sometimes turned into a complaint department, so I would like to give some final thoughts for the compliment department.
Please do.
Okay. You and the mods are pretty much the only reason I get on Clubhouse on Saturdays and Sundays. I'm never on it other than that. And if I'm not on stage, I'm listening because it's entertaining, it's thought-provoking, and it also gives me an ability to improve my public speaking because I am, according to the MBTI, 100% introvert. So this provides me an opportunity to have a voice and speak. I'm similar to Violet, where I don't have a lot of self-esteem. So I appreciate the opportunity. I've always found both of your shows that you're passionate about what you talk about, and the other mods are too. And you're always respectful, and I love the fact that there are different personalities here that enhance every conversation. So I just wanted to put that out there. Change the complaints to compliments, and say thank you for everything you and the mods do.
Thank you, Tanya. Steve, you're not coming through.
There we go. The 5-second rule. Thank you. I didn't push the button. Tanya, thank you very much. Appreciate that. You're going to get the very first class escort down the red carpet to the VIP. Thank you very much. With that, let's go ahead and say goodbye to Andrew, our good neighbor to the north. Andrew, would you like to say goodbye?
Okay, thanks for the room today. Really appreciate it. I'd just like to put a little plug in for Joe Jackson, awesome artist. If you're really, he did an album called Jump and Jive, which was a total departure of what he was doing. But it's an awesome album. I recommend it to anybody if you like some of the older tunes that he remade onto that album. In fact, it was the first time I'd heard some of them, heard the originals. So it's a fantastic album. So I recommend it highly. That's it. Have a good one.
Thank you, Andrew. First class escort down the red carpet to the VIP. Let's say goodbye to Alma. Alma, would you like to say goodbye? Alma going once. Alma going twice. Okay, we'll come back. Somebody wants to come up. I'm going to invite him because he's here all the time but doesn't normally speak. Hang on a second. Let's see if he's there, if that was just a mistake.
Steve, could I just say something?
Well, I'll tell you what. You can say goodbye, communist. Go ahead.
Well, no, I just wanted Scott. Okay, so Scott, do you have a literary agency? You can let them know about my screenplays, because I was just like.
So you insult him for being a liar, and now you want his help?
I mean, because you never told nobody told anybody he was a millionaire.
Well, you never asked, and you still haven't asked.
Holy cow, dude, he's not.
Tell you what, you don't have to ask. Reverend Scott is not a millionaire. You got him mixed up.
He's on IMDb. He has credits.
Reverend Scott, are you a millionaire?
Not yet.
Do you want to answer the question if you're a millionaire?
This is interesting content, Steve. I mean,
It's
He's
bizarre.
accessible, which is fine. You know.
Are you also involved in screens, in films?
No, I do.
You
I do have a film credit in a documentary as a sort of researcher. Yeah, but
would
no.
you have the capacity to help somebody in the film industry?
No.
Okay. Communist, you are completely mistaken.
Well, Steve, since you would you care to fund me some of your investments? Or,
No, because all you've done for the past couple of months is complain about me and my show and accuse me of being a liar. No, I don't want to fund you at all. No. Now that that's been said, would you like to say goodbye? Okay. And he left on his own. Yeah, no. You come on the show for 3 months, you complain about the way we do the show, you accuse me and my mod squad of being liars, and then you ask for our help? I understand, Communist, that you are, and I'm going to paraphrase, mentally challenged. I get that. But that's not the way the world works. You don't barrage people with negativity, accuse them of being liars, tell them they're going to lose 200 listeners if they don't do it your way, and then you ask for financial help. That's not the way it's not the way life works. Alma, would you like to say goodbye? Alma going once, Alma going twice. We'll come back. El Normo, thank you for your contributions today. Would you like to say goodbye?
Yes, indeed I would, and you're welcome, and thank you.
You're welcome.
That was fun and funny. I have seen the kind of behavior we just saw before. I will draw an analogy to the Palestinians who relentlessly attack their neighbors and then stick their hands out and ask for money that they can use stuff with which to attack their neighbors and then complain that they are victims. Please forgive my partisanship. But on the other hand, we can say anything we want on the stage, and I don't demand or require or even request anybody agree with me, but I thought I'd get that out of my system. I am thinking about my latest ideas. The belief is that Palestinianism for the Democratic Party is the new transgenderism, which is the new climate change obsession. The idea that preventing people from buying good dishwashers or clothing dryers will change the climate is nuts. By the way, this sort of weird effort at social control was in view during the pandemic. Yes, take measures to protect public health. No, closing the schools for 18 months is not a good idea. It's very bad. It's a very bad idea. Trying to attack Jews and exclude them from the Venice Biennale, which happened, and various other museum shows, and from food co-ops, and from the city councils of little towns in upstate New York and elsewhere, will not bring peace to the Middle East. It's crazy. And telling little boys that they can get pregnant will not help them in any way. These are all crazy ideas from my party, the Democratic Party. I, like Will Rogers, do not belong to any organized political party. I'm a Democrat. And with that, Steve, I want to say that your rooms, for some reason, Steve, that I don't understand, get better and better every week.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I guess I'll end it there. I'll end it on that positive. And I'm not trying to glaze you up. But I mean it. It's just I feel like the conversations get better, you get funnier, and your patience is a thing of wonder with your interlocutors.
You're very kind. Thank you. First class escort to the VIP. One of the reasons why I do this is because it does improve my patience. And then when I go into my D job, like dealing with other lawyers and doctors and judges, I have real patience there, you know. But last chance for Alma. Alma, would you like to say goodbye? Alma going once. Alma going twice. Alma gets a stretcher ride from the entire Mod Squad down the red carpet to the VIP. And let's say goodbye to Alfonso. Alfonso, would you like to say goodbye? Alfonso going once. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for the show. I'll see you guys next week.
You got it, buddy. Let's go to Daryl. Daryl, would you like to say goodbye?
I would. And Uncle Steve, you said something. So I was actually in your neck of the woods all week. I got back at 3 a.m., so that's why my voice sounds like this. But I had lunch over in Sherman Oaks with a friend.
I'm right by there. I'm right by there.
I will be in Sherman Oaks. Also, have you been to Rendition?
Yeah, where is it?
It's a speakeasy in Sherman Oaks. You would like, yeah, I think you would like the speakeasy.
I have not been to that specific business, but maybe that business was named something else a few years ago before the pandemic, and so I might have been to that building, but no, I have not been to that business, no.
Possibly. So, it's interesting because so 7 of us were talking, and we all just kept hyping on how, success is maybe 10% what you do, and it's 90% who you know. And I say that because of the communist guy.
Yep.
Because if he were like of better character, he probably would meet more people, but I don't think people actually want to talk to him. That's a problem,
Yes. Well, again, I'm paraphrasing, but he's admitted before he's mentally challenged, and he doesn't have any experience in the entertainment business, so.
Then he should talk through someone else.
Yeah.
That's
the way to get along. No, let me rephrase. No, the best way to develop a circle of friends and or business partners is to emphasize the positive and minimize, if not eliminate, the negative. That's why I've constantly stressed on the show throughout the years that the Mod Squad, we air our dirty laundry privately, not in public. If we've got something bad to say about another Mod Squatter, we don't do it on the show. I mean, when was the last time and again, this show is kind of designed after a radio show. Think to any radio show that you listen. When do the people on the show negatively criticize each other? Never. That's why when you get to TMZ or you read about the infighting, within people on a show, a radio show, TV show, it's always done off the air. That's what we stress. Violet, would you like to say goodbye?
Yeah, success is like when you were talking about what connects you to us and what that would let you put your resources toward because you trust us and you care about us. That's success to me. The people in my life don't get me wrong, I wish I had more money, but honestly, the connections I make with people in life are what make me feel successful, that I have a purpose to be here, and that is to, be in a community of several communities. So I consider being on your show a success every time, and I love being here. I hope everybody has a great week, and bye for now, everybody.
You can ask any reasonable businessman, not all, but a lot. And if you ask them what is their best investment, they will say the people that they work with, the people that they partner with, and the people that they hire. That is your best investment. Let's go to JCC, the Grill Master. Great. I love that title. Would you like to say goodbye?
Of course, Steve. Great room, great show. We had some good discussions. We had some good banter back and forth. We had some interesting content and an argument from organized universe, therefore an intelligent being must exist. However, there's argument against that, and that can be discussed later on with more people that want to hear the argument. But no, once again, I enjoy being here, and thanks for keeping this going on 6 years now.
Yes.
And that's quite awesome. Looking forward to the week as well, and to that, I bid everybody happy trails until we meet again. Have a great rest of your Sunday.
And last but not least, the XO, Reverend Scott, who may be running a pop-up room later. Reverend Scott, would you like to say goodbye?
Yeah, Uncle Steve, I do. It's always great to be here. Yeah, that was interesting. I do think that, with JCC's point, I think oftentimes both the theists and the atheists that come on here are a lot more confident of their arguments than maybe is warranted. I think that, look, the world's a messy place. I think to a lot of people, it looks purposeful and like there's meaning and it must be designed. I think to a lot of people, it looks chaotic and cruel and red in tooth and claw. I think both of these are really reasonable approaches to a world as complex as ours. And I think we ought to engage each other with some humility, sympathy, maybe even empathy, and realize most people believe what they believe because for good reasons, for an amalgam of intellectual reasons, emotional experiences, life journey sort of factors. And so I wish people would approach people with some understanding rather than thinking that people are so stupid and have never thought about their beliefs. Most people have thought about them quite a bit that come on here. So thanks and goodbye, and I will see everybody hopefully next weekend, maybe even today if I pop up in a room.
Last but not least, Marshall, I haven't heard from you all day. I don't know if you spoke, but Marshall, would you like to say hello and goodbye?
Hello, everybody. Goodbye, everybody.
Thank you. And with that, y'all, we are done. Great show. Without question, better with you than without you. On behalf of the Mod Squad, we wish you and your families a great remainder of your weekend. We will be back, as always, next Saturday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and next Sunday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, for another 3-hour tour. And we'll close it with this. A lot's been made about consistency. And yes, we have been extremely consistent that we are basically here every Saturday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, every Sunday, 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We make small little changes and corrections based on what everybody wants. And yes, you can send me a back channel. I not only read them all, I respond to them all. But it's not only about consistency. It's not only about honesty. It's not only about critical thinking by osmosis. It's not only about the 3 hours. It's what happens in the 3 hours. Take care, everybody. Be careful on the clubhouse streets.
Hey, come on in, kid. I'm getting dressed. I was at the hotel. They told me you took the night off. Thought you was sick or something.
Of course I took the night off, dummy. This is the night you wrestle shoot?
You took the night off for that?
Yeah. Shaved, got a haircut and everything.
You never took a night off to see me wrestle before. Should dock you for that.
Hey kid, money ain't everything.
You know, it's not that big a deal, Elmo. I mean, it's 6 lousy minutes on the mat at that.
You ever hear of Pele?
Yeah, he's a soccer player.
Very famous soccer player. There's a room here one day. I'm watching the Mexican channel on TV. I don't know nothing about Pele. I'm watching what this guy can do with a ball on his feet. Next thing I know, he jumps up in the air and flips into a somersault and kicks the ball in upside down and backwards. The goddamn goalie never knew what the fuck hit him. Lele gets excited and he rips off his jersey and starts running around the stadium, waving it around over his head. Everybody's screaming in Spanish. I'm here sitting alone in my room. I start crying. Yeah, that's right, I start crying. There's another human being, a species which I happen to belong to. Kick a ball. Left himself. The rest of us sad-ass human beings up to a better place to be, if only for a minute. Let me tell you, kid, it was pretty goddamn glorious. I hate the 6 minutes. It's what happens in that 6 minutes.
Bomba-dee-da, 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 happy trails to you. Bomba-dee-da, 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 band. Who cares about the clouds when we're together? Just sing a song and think about sunny weather. Happy trails to you till we meet again.
to go to the same destination as your fiance for the bachelorette slash bachelor weekend week, whatever. So like y'all think that, I don't know, it's just a new thing. Like rich people, they're like, we're going on an island. The men have their own suite or villa. The women have their own. The bridal parties do separate things. They do some things together. That's just what's.
This just sound like something like Love. This just sound like something like Love Island shitting on you.
That is not Love Island, please. Again, Dr. Library Card, what you said is correct. It's just what the kids cross race. It's just what young people are doing now, where they have joint bachelor parties, and they do separate things together. They do things together. It's just what they do now. The upwardly mobile ones, especially.
Why?
Because that's just what they want to do. That's the new in vogue thing to do. If you are an upwardly mobile young person and you are about to get married, the in vogue thing to do is for you to get your bachelorette team together, he gets his bachelor party together, y'all all go to a particular destination, y'all will do things together, y'all will do things separately, but y'all will 9 times out of 10 be in the same locale. So the girls like going to Nashville. Some of them it'll be joint in Nashville, it might be joint in Vegas, it might be joint in the islands. Some people still do the traditional separate bachelorette and bachelor parties, but the new in vogue thing to do for some of these people is to do the joint ones. Yeah, it seems like that.
And this is what I mean when I say the gender avengers. Exactly what I mean. There's no gender is gone. This is insane.
I got almost the best man. That's what you need.
They want to keep an eye. They want to make sure that Ken and the stripper ain't showing up. They want to watch
And John
when he doesn't.
And John Williams.
Yeah, no China Williams. Yeah, I mean, this is me. I could be wrong. And the guy could feel the same way. They don't want the fireman showing up. They someone to say there's a fire.
You're scared of the fire.
Where's the trust?
Like, it's really about, you might do some events together, but some things are still separate, so those things still can go on. I know a person that did it because they said that his friends, they don't plan good things. His wife, or future wife to be at the time, and her friends planned better events. And so by linking it together, it became a better trip.
He was a good best man.
It was smart. It's smart.
So, hold on, T, you wanted to say something? You get off your chair. It's good, bro. Sister. D. Well, alright, I can understand that, but... Okay. Alright.
Let's talk about that.
I don't... Okay.
I have a question, but
I'm taking my voice off the country. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Rio de Janeiro. Time to look.
yeah. I mean, but isn't that, I mean, this is just me and I don't think about this, but I do not want, well, I wouldn't want that. I think it should be separate.
Listen, this is a generational difference.
But you know what? If you really wanted to, you could have just did a wedding weekend. That would make more sense to me. That would make more sense to me.
I don't like this. It's just so fascinating. What's happening, right?
T, go ahead. T, go ahead.
You gotta get him off stage. You know it's not relevant.
Okay. Well,
No. T is actually a real person. Actually, I was thinking of T last night. She's from London. She's a actually we had a nice conversation.
all right, T, are you there? We'll wait for you. So here's my answer to that. It speaks to how dumb young men are. If you and your friends did not imagine a weekend of debauchery for at bachelor weekend, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're going to eat, you're going to drink, and you'll be smacking and seeing some fine shit if you're lucky. Hype shit. I don't even understand.